So here I am in another fashion reaction to a fall winter collection 2022, pardon me. And this time I'm bringing three major houses, which is Gucci, Versace, and you guessed it, well, you read it in the title, that is Moschino. And I will give you a spoiler, Moschino mopped the floor with them. Now, I will go into Versace first because that's the one that impressed me the least. Not at all bad. I would rate it, again, spoiler, I will rate it on a scale from 1 to 10 a 7 just because I can, and I feel like that's a pretty decent rating. So let's get into it. So I will play the video here, and as you can see, the runway for Versace started in black, all black. And I was thinking to myself, why? Again, I love black. I usually wear black, not really in the videos, am I, so far, but I love black color. It's my favorite, and I just felt like it's a very understated, not interesting way to start off your runway. But as it progressed, I did like it more. There was a lot of latex, it seemed, which always bring that kind of, well, it depends what you know. If you're a bit kinky, then it brings out a little kinky side to you. If you're not, then it might be something else. But as the runway moved along and time passed, I would see these beautiful long thin coats in various colors, and that is probably the part that I did like the most about the Versace runway, and I'm talking specifically about women's wear. I love the pink and the blonde hair and the entire, just, it was styled well, I will say that. Donatella knows how to style an outfit, and I'm very glad that she did a good job here. The reason why I didn't think it was better than Gucci or, of course, Moschino is because I felt like it lacked a little bit of edge or ingenuity, and that is just my personal thing. You can disagree, and if you do, please tell me why, because I'd love to know. I did like the boots a lot. Everything that they wore on their feet was pretty cute. I will have to admit to that. And I liked the coats. Coats always seem to work for me. I liked the hairstyles. This woman right here with the bangs that has literally porcelain white skin looks stunning. I always like just black hair with the bangs cut there. It looks the best to me. It's kind of like one of my favorite hairstyles. It could maybe sounds basic, but I love it. Yes, and this, and I also have to give a special thanks, or I have to admire. I will give this here segment to admire the green outfit that we can see with this pattern. The bag goes with it well, but what I like the most about it is the freaking hat. I have a thing for hats, not caps, not beanies. They're all cute, but not really for the fashion for me. And this gopher, I will guess, moment is perfection for this styling. I just love it. I also do tend to like coats, especially if they have patterns and bright colors. Well, they don't even have to be bright, let's be honest, I like them anyway. But I just like coats. Thick, thin, no matter the fabric almost. Usually woolens are maybe better, or like a fur moment, some hair material, I like that. Versace did not disappoint in that segment as well. Now these little shimmery outfits that are like, they're just not for me. However, I am not here to just discuss her women's wear because I felt like it really lacked in comparison to male fashion. Men's wear, she really hit the nail on the head, as people say. The usage of different textures, materials, fabrics, patterns, didn't I just say three of the same basically words, but just a lot of different things all combined in each outfit to create this kind of unique style, and everything that mashed together despite their differences kind of worked for me. Again, you can see in this picture all of these male outfits are designed to perfection. Love the bright colors, love the patterns, the boots, how they presented it, everything was on it. And the only reason I'm not gonna take much time to talk about it is because people don't usually care that much about menswear, sadly. I am kind of one of those people, but I did have to say, fuck yes, that was a pretty good, I loved it. I really did love it. As you can see, my good kitty is here and she just left me. Wow, what a bitch. So I will now move along. I will keep these short because I want to just get through all of them. I don't think people want to watch me for 3 hours talk about these looks. But here we are. We're going to talk about Gucci. Now that one is kind of like, it's hot and cold for me. Some looks are a hit, and I will tell you which ones are. And some of those are not. For example, this purple outfit that this lovely man is wearing is just perfect. I really like everything about it. It's tailored well. It's just fit on his body beautifully. There's many things that I liked here. The okay, first we have to of course address the collaboration between Gucci and Adidas, which I did not expect. I don't know if many people did. I felt like it was maybe not necessary, but it did kind of, with the colors and the way it was styled in some sporty ways. It reminded me of like 80s, and I enjoy 80s a lot. But then again, I also, at least for me, this might just be me, but I also saw some inspiration from like the 70s with the sunglasses and the head wraps. That's just what I felt. This Gucci runway was not just urban, but it also had a little bit more class to it than just regular urban off the street fashion. We saw a lot of caps and corsets and heels and sneakers with heels and just a lot of different things, which I very much liked, as well as this kind of gender non-conforming androgynous look that the models had. I think that was a pretty cute way to go about this particular runway. And I think that we saw a lot of it in recent times, but I think that trend is going to continue for a year or more, and then it's gonna, in my opinion, change to something else. It might go back to the classics male-female, but it might go or evolve into something else, which will be interesting to see because I can't really predict the next direction in which the fashion industry will go to. The masculine side of certain designs in this runway were kind of contrasted with heels or with certain add-ons on the clothing itself, which I thought was a very creative way to showcase both, to represent both styles or both genders or both anything really. It had this unique, fascinating quality to it, at least for me, and that is the reason why kind of Gucci took over Versace in that aspect when it comes to women's wear. Versace's menswear, of course, kind of beat them all in that sense. I liked the shininess of certain outfits. I liked the patterns. I liked the hats and accessories. Bags I did not like. There was one bag with spikes, and as well as the clothing that kind of resembled that same bag, but I'm not sure if they were worn together. I cannot remember. Maybe it'll pop up here and I'll tell you, but I'll probably find a picture and just put it here. Damn, I'm talking. But yeah, I usually do not like Gucci bags. A lot of it, at least not the popular ones. Gucci style bags are not my forte, let's say. Hairstyles were also interesting. The way they would make these models appear to us was very cool. And I think that that's a kind of like a simple, perfect word to define it. The hairstyles, the accessories, the makeup or minimal makeup that some of them had, it just worked to their advantage. And then this final outfit kind of gave me a priestess feel to it, even though it obviously is not. But that is the way I felt, and I was kind of at peace with that. I do think that the final looks kind of have to be the strongest, as well as the opening ones. But I mean, and everything has to be strong, but I think the first impression and the final statement is the one that will change your opinion into this or that direction. And, you know, for me it could have been better, but it is what it is. Still, Gucci, good job. I rated like 7.5 out of 10. I liked it, surprisingly. And now, finally, we're getting to Moschino. And Moschino was the bomb. First of all, we start the show with the floor that resembles one of my favorite movies, The Room, from one of my favorite movies, which is 2001 Space Odyssey. The way it looked, I immediately got to reference, and I appreciated it a lot because of the movie. As somebody who loves it, that was pretty cute, so right away I was drawn into it like this. then we see these beautiful models come out in these gorgeous, gorgeous gowns with a lot of patterns. Some, okay, let me compose myself. We saw a lot of inspiration from like Renaissance or from just normal objects that you would see in richer houses. For example, you would see lamps and harps and some kind of patterns or styled outfits that resemble patterns of a rug or the carpets themselves that the outfits would resemble. A lot of things. One woman had a beautiful, like a simple little chair as a headpiece or a fascinator on her head, and I really liked that. Again, a huge harp on that lady that she strolled out on the entire. A lot of it worked for me. There were not many outfits that I didn't like. They really was not. Perhaps only a few of the first ones, and for like the first minute and a half, were a bit on the simpler side, but everything else was pretty much to my taste. Again, my taste ranges from here to there, like it's like everyone's does. But this theme, oh my god, Moschino really did a good job. Jeremy Scott, you did that. By the way, that's the designer for the Moschino, if you didn't know. You need to understand that a lot of money goes into hiring models, paying the staff, paying everybody, setting up the entire set, create the sponsor, everything costs in millions. And the production of those outfits, like, you have to understand why a lot of it is expensive. Again, it would not be expensive if the demand from the public was not big, but the bigger the demand, the bigger the prices. Just the way these gowns and dresses were styled, with the rouging, with the silhouette, with the volume at one side, the asymmetry, the tool that was used, or the material, pardon me, and tulle fabric as well. But everything, at some gowns, a little bit of train just to add that slight kick to the entire ensemble. Also, I always pay attention to the way the models are directed, how to move, what to do. With Gucci, I did not like the way they were presenting the outfits when the show firstly started. It just seemed a bit like this pose right here is not kind of like your normal pose. But anything that is not normal, and if you can't fake it well, it's going to look like it's a bit uncomfortable or forced, which is normal, to expect. But here everyone seemed chill and focused and present. The presence and the charisma really need to work together to exude that kind of confidence in the work itself. Everything reminded me of royalty and the richness, the volumes, I don't know what other words to use, honestly. I cannot describe it well enough. You need to go watch it for yourself if you like this kind of thing. And that'll be it. And then you will admire it yourself. That's the best way I can describe this to you. And then the show was closed off with Bella Hadid, and in this beautiful kind of golden dress with the tulle spreading out, and again the dry leaves wrapped around one of her arms and somewhere around the waist, and the makeup which is very minimal but glamorous with the styling of the hair. It's just perfect. Everything was how it's supposed to be. And yeah, my admiration goes to Sir Jeremy Scott, and I rate this only because I would love to see a bit more maybe variety in the style itself. But for what was presented, I would rate it like 9 out of 10 because this was pretty impressive. And yeah, I hope you'll enjoy this review. My fashion reactions are always going to be, consistent, and I'm going to pay attention to many things and many controversial things as well, because I want to explore the entire fashion industry rather than just small segment, which is the runways and the clothing itself. So yeah, thank you for watching, and I hope you will stick around and help me build this channel. So yeah, see you in the next one.